YouTube, happy Wednesday, and today's video is about seed starting and what nutrients you need in your soil to get your little seed babies off to the best start possible. Now, I really struggle with this and I've killed so many of my little plant starts. There's nothing more disheartening than putting all your time and effort, you're brand new to gardening, you put all of your time and attention and love into planting these beautiful seeds and getting pots and soil and getting really excited for your seedling to just die. So I thought it was really important to share a video about what seeds need to start, the 3 key fundamentals for a seed to thrive, seedling. So 3 things. The first one is soil. They need really light, fluffy soil for their roots to grow and establish. So imagine they're like little tiny hairs traveling through the soil. Now, if they're in their really thick soil, they can't reach through and they kind of get stunted and they can't, travel far to become a strong, well-established plant. They need really soft, light, fluffy soil. I like to use coconut coir for the first initial stage when I'm planting them, and then I up pot to a really light multi-purpose compost mix that I found really works for me. I've also been composting my chicken and duck bedding, which has made amazing compost, really high in nitrogen, which has been awesome, and I'll explain a bit more about that later on. But a key example of needing nutrition, so the second one is nutrition, the second key element of what a seed needs is nutrition. So you've got the soil, the fluffy soil that it needs to initially get started, and the nutrients. Now you can tell if your seed is nutrient deficient. Often if you see their leaves start to yellow, they might be nitrogen or phosphorus deficient. You can tell, you get to learn the signs. But this one I can see is yellowing a little bit, this little kale seedling. So I really need to up pot this now from the coconut coir into some fluffy compost with some more nutrients in it. It needs food. Once it's got its first true leaves, these 2 here are what they call fake leaves. I call fake leaves. They're just its first baby leaves. They're not real. These are the first true leaves of the plant. So eventually I just pluck these off. Once it's got their first true leaves, which are these 2, I then up pot them because the seed has expanded, if you like, expanded, is that the right word? Yes. Expelled all its energy into getting to this point, but it now has no more nutrients and nutrition to grow, so it needs to be up potted. So this is a classic example of me getting my homemade compost full of nitrogen for my little kale seedling to give it a boost and turn it a bit green again and stop it yellowing. So don't worry if you do have yellowing seedlings, you can sort that out, or you can even purchase liquid fertilizer if you prefer. I just like to make sure my soil is on point and I don't have to add any extra feed if unnecessary, but you can get great organic fertilizers. I make my own as well using duck poo. Duck poo tea is amazing, so high in nitrogen. It's one of the best. It's liquid gold and it's much better to use on your plants than, for example, chicken poo. You cannot use hot manure, which chicken poo is classed as, straight on your plants. It will burn the roots. So it's really important to understand what types of manure you can use on your plants and what for and when and how to use them. So if you do, I'd give you this advice when using fertilizer. If you do use store-bought fertilizer or your own, please make sure you get advice or look it up online or use the instructions on the feed, because you can kill your plants and burn them. There's nothing more disheartening than putting all your energy into them and then them just dying and not knowing why. So yeah, all this stuff, once you've got it, is fine. So that's the first one, soil. Second one, nutrients. And third one's obviously water. Now this, I've also killed off seedlings by them rotting because I've overwatered them and I've been so disheartened. You can see, I'll give you an example of me over watering them and it's shriveling. I think this is one that I've over watered and rotted a bit. You can see it's just not thriving compared to this one. So I left it out in the rain when I was trying to harden them off, and that didn't help at all. So they can give them too much or too little water. What the top tip I got from another great gardening channel was to put your finger in the first like inch of the soil, and if it's still moist, great. If you get down further and you can feel it's really dry, then just soak it through. But you just never ever want your seeds to be saturated. Some people bottom water, so you can bottom water from just at the bottom of your tray. If your tray hasn't got holes in the bottom, which this one doesn't, that's the reason I bought this one, just pour the water in the bottom of the tray and it will evenly water the seedlings once they've emerged and started to establish, and that will it's nice and even watering, then it will travel up and it won't be as likely that you're going to overwater them. So those are 3 key things that you need to start your seedlings to get a successful start and not kill them all. There's so many different things, but it's not actually as complicated. When you get used to it and you get in the flow of it, you start to understand, you start to notice the signs of what they need. They kind of talk to you. If they're feeling droopy, you can kind of pick up on why, or discoloured, what they need and what nutrients they're deficient in. So just like being in tune with your plant babies, just like a baby when it's crying, you know, it's either hungry, you know, thirsty, or needs a nappy change, whatever. So that's my short little video today. I hope you found that useful, and if there's any questions you've got about seed starting, please pop them below. It'd be great to be part of this community. I love that I'm now involved with the homesteading community. I've met so many great friends online. The Homestead YouTube community are amazing, and yeah, it's so great to be a part of it. So let's all help each other. Please do comment, share, like and subscribe if you're into this kind of thing and gardening is your jam, or homesteading. I'd love to hear from you, and have a great evening.